Hello and welcome to the channel. It's time for another reaction video, and it's time for the Tudors season 3 episode number 6, and the title of this episode is The Search for a New Queen. So I think that's what we're going to see in this episode, the search for a new queen. So yeah, maybe we're going to see Anne of Cleves already, maybe not. Maybe they're going to just focus on the search that's going to lead up to her. It took a while before they got to her. There were some other women that were considered. Some noble women from France. There was like a princess of Denmark that was considered. They all, yeah, they didn't make it. They didn't make the cut. I don't know why. Maybe Henry himself didn't find them very appealing, or some other things that led to them being excluded from the list. I don't know. You know, we know that Cromwell heavily favors Anne of Cleves. We're going to see that probably in this episode. He's going to push for Anne of Cleves very hard. That's one of the reasons of his downfall, or I think Henry was maybe growing tired of him in general, and used this as the final straw thing that, yeah, that did it for Cromwell. So, yeah, are we going to see Anne of Cleves? I don't know, maybe. I'm eager to find out, of course. Maybe we're going to see her at the end of the episode. It took some time, like I said, for them to come to Anne of Cleves, so maybe they're not going to show it in this episode, or maybe they're going to show like what happened with the painting and everything. Henry was presented with a painting to show him how she looked and everything, and that was one of the things that he said later. You know, she looks nothing like her painting. The painting was done by Holbein, so I don't think he would have misrepresented her. He was a very good painter, very realistic as well. So, you know, I think there was an excuse of Henry to get rid of her. You know, he didn't find her appealing. You know, that can happen, of course. You can have a wife or husband that you don't find physically attractive, and as the king, you know, he has the prerogative to do so. I think maybe he was pressured a little bit into the marriage, or he just at that point really didn't care. He was like, you know, I lost Jane Seymour. I'm just going to marry anybody. I don't really care, you know. But then when he saw her, he was like, I don't want to do that. So, well, you know, they were married eventually. There are some talks that he never consumed his marriage. So, yeah, was it a real marriage? Probably not. You know, she walked away pretty much unharmed. She didn't have her head cut off or anything, because I think that all is a testament to what a kind of woman she was. She was very cooperative with the annulment. She was like, okay, we're going to do an annulment. She actually stayed in England, and Henry took care of her for the rest of her life. So, and they even got like, yeah, real friendship basis down the line, and you know, she was very much in favor of Henry for the rest of her life. So, and the fact that she's buried now in Westminster Abbey, I think that is also a testament to his relationship with her. You know, if he didn't have a good bond with her, he would probably never allow her to be buried there. So, yeah, pretty eager to find out. You know, the previous episode was probably my least favorite episode. If you watch that reaction, if you haven't seen it, playlist in the description, you can find all the episodes there. You know, in that episode, I just didn't like it. I don't know why, but Henry locked himself in his room and he talked to his fool all day long. In the beginning of the episode, I was like, is this even real? Maybe it's in its imagination. But it turned out it was a real guy, and you know, at the end of the episode, we saw him sitting on the throne with the crown of Henry on his head. It was a really weird episode. I know, I didn't really like it. You know, there are several ways, of course, you can portray a guy who is mourning. Is this the way that I would have wanted to see it? No, I didn't really like it. You know, what did that really happen? You know, we know for a fact that he did lock himself in his room. He wore black clothes and everything. He was generally mourning. Did he lock himself away with his fool? I don't know. I've never read that, so maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But you know, the way the whole episode was written, all the scenes with Henry and the fool in the room, I didn't really care for them. So yeah, for me it was my least favorite episode, I think, of the entire series. So yeah, hopefully it only gets better from here, and we're gonna see some more great historical stuff from the Tudors. So yeah, I think a little bit of a shorter intro today, because yeah, I don't have a whole lot of stuff to say about the previous episode. And yeah, I think we just have to dive in and start this episode and yeah, watch it. So this is the Tudors season 3, episode number 6. Let's go. Joss Stone? That's a singer, right? You had me, you got me. Something like that. I don't know. I think that's a pretty well-known song, right, from Joss Stone? I think that's her. That's pretty cool. So I'm guessing she's playing Anne of Cleves then, because she was bowing before the king. So, oh man. So that means we're gonna see her for sure in this episode.
Charles, please sit.
Still wearing black, so that is pretty accurate.
Actions in the fighting that went on inside this court while I'm on were unacceptable. I'm appointing you President of the Council and Lord Great Master. So in my absence, all will be answerable to you.
Even Cromwell. Holy shit. I think Brandon pretty eager to take up that task.
From now on, they are all under suspicion.
The leg is bothering me again.
How's your family?
They're well.
Well, don't think they are.
My wife lost the child she was carrying.
Oh man. That's what she wanted, right? I think in the previous episode she said, well, it's better for this baby not to be born. But her actually losing it? That's a shame.
I know what it is that we've both lost. We've lost our youth. There's nothing in the world that can ever return it to us.
Yeah, that's a fact. The older you get, the more people you lose around you, right? One of the downsides of growing older.
You're hungry. Eat.
They're coming for her. Yeah. That's historically accurate as well.
Lady Salisbury, forgive this intrusion, but you and these members of your family are arrested. By the King's orders on suspicion of treason, you will all have to come straight with me.
Oh, my grandson.
Yep. She was actually executed for it. Because of what her son did. Crazy. And maybe she had some involvement with her son, of course, but I don't think so. He was in Rome. But I think they pressured his family to maybe to lure him out of Rome and to get him to come to England. Which didn't work.
My Lord Privy Seal spoke to me of two potential French brides. Maria.
That's what I said.
But Madame de Longueville is much more suitable. Being herself a widow and having already borne two sons and being, as they say, very voluptuous.
He likes that, of course. And the fact that she already has two sons. I think they didn't know back in the day that, of course, the man determines the sex, or at least the seed of the man determines the sex of the child.
But His Majesty proposes a double marriage. His 19-year-old son Henri to your daughter Mary, and one of Madame de Longueville's sisters to you.
I don't think he will agree with that.
The former, remarkably for the French court, is rumored to be still a virgin. Wonderful. Take her.
He really hates the French, you can see it in his eyes.
Still a maid. You will have the advantage of shaping the passage to your measure.
How they talk of these women. It's possessions, basically.
Go get my father!
Not gonna happen, dude.
His niece, the Duchess of Milan.
Tell me about her.
Originally from Denmark, she was married at 13 to the Duke of Milan, Francesco Sforza, who died a year later.
Brendan's taking over.
And likes nothing better than hunting and playing cards.
Hunting and playing cards. I like her already.
Yeah. I think they are two of Henry's hobbies, right?
Ambassador in the Netherlands, find out more about her.
Majesty.
You can already see the look on Cromwell's face. He's not happy with it. Maybe because it was brought up by Brendan.
You ought to make particular inquiries there about Christine, the Duchess of Milan, but when you're about it, go on to the Duchy of Cleves. Make inquiries there about the Duke's two sisters, Amelia and Anne.
Here he is. Already pushing for Anne.
Yes, my Lord Cromwell.
I wonder if we're going to see Cromwell's execution. Probably maybe in the last episode of this season.
You know very well that my family has disowned Reginald. Neither my mother nor I support or condone what he has done. We openly profess our allegiance to his gracious majesty.
That is true, but there are some letters. I think he's going to pull them out of his pocket now.
I like well the proceedings of my brother, the Cardinal. But I like not the doings of this realm. And I trust to see a change in this world. I would wish that we were both over the sea.
He's like, crap. They got my letters. I think that was really the case. There were some letters, even between Paul and his mother, where his mother kind of said, you know, that she agrees with him or stuff like that. That's why they were executed.
His leg will kill him, and we will have a jolly stirring. Your professions of loyalty were all hollow.
Yeah, this guy is Groot.
The last of the Plantagenets, the last of the White Rose. Some say you Poles are the rightful heirs, and will someday wear the garland, don't they?
Yeah, that was true. That was a problem. I was actually pretty surprised, you know, when I found out about all that history, that they kept them alive, because they have a very strong claim to the throne. Of course, they lost, you know, against the Tudors. But, you know, if you round up enough men, you can always say, hey, I have a larger claim to the throne. I'm going to take the throne back. So you'll have another war on your hands. So, yeah, it's pretty dangerous for them to just leave them.
Now that we found evidence against Henry Pole, Lord Montague, we need something against the lady. I ask you, whether such dishonest and treacherous sons could ever have had an honest mother.
Yeah, you must also understand, you know, that times were different back then. If somebody from your family did something, they would look upon you as well.
When she smiles, there appear two dimples in her cheeks and one in her chin. I know very well.
Sounds good. Maybe bring her over. Have to check her out.
Yeah. Sister of the Duke of Cleves. Anne. Right.
I've heard about her. They say she's of no great praise, either of her personage or her beauty.
Oh man, it's already started.
Is a member of the Protestant League, which daily grows in power across Europe and could easily rival us. Thus, at last, could England make its own destiny.
He knows how to sell it.
I'm anxious to see more of the Duchess of Milan. I want to be sure she's as beautiful as Anne of Cleves. Send Master Holbein to do a sketch of her by next tide.
Majesty.
So yeah, Henry is really focused now on the Duchess of Milan. I think Cromwell has his work cut out for him. But yeah, he eventually will succeed, of course. But Henry was already quite negative about Anne of Cleves, so...
How happy you shall be if it be your chance to be matched with my master.
Shall I? Why?
He's got a familiar face as well. I don't know. Probably some TV show I saw her in.
And they suspect that the first, my great aunt, was poisoned. The second, innocently put to death. And the third, lost for lack of care in her childbed.
Damn. I don't think she's really eager to get married to Henry. Could you blame her?
Alas, I have only this one.
Madam, let me plead.
If I was a woman back then, I was like, hey, I'm not going to marry that guy because if he gets bored of you, he's going to cut your head off. So why would you do that?
Royal banner of the Plantagenets. Oh my god, what expectation is there?
That's not good. They should have got rid of that.
What's this?
That's the symbol of the uprising.
That at my age, I am capable of plotting anything against anyone. I wish only to live a quiet life away from this world.
Yeah, maybe you don't keep stuff like that in your locker.
For what you deserve, you may well beg mercy.
But who shall say if it be granted or not?
Yep, he's right about that. He's in trouble.
Our younger sons will be ennobled with the ancient dukedoms of York, Gloucester and Somerset. And Princess Mary can marry Don Louis.
He says Princess Mary. I don't think that's right at that point. He's still a bastard at this point, so he wouldn't be considered a princess, right? I think she would be referred to as the Lady Mary.
And that little boy in the tower will have 40,000 troops flocking to his banner, and you will be the sucker! God!
Oh, his leg is acting up really bad, man. But what he's saying is true. You know, like I said, it sounds kind of harsh and everything, but you know, if you leave these people alive, they have a claim to the throne. It's pretty dangerous. Oh, the doctors are going to work. Holy crap.
What in the name of God?
Man, that doesn't look good.
Elsewhere's leg has failed to burst, as it has always done before.
And fetch the barber surgeons to lance it.
That might kill him.
Yeah, that might kill him, but this is also not nice to live with.
No one is to be allowed access to him, do you understand? Yes, my lord.
Yeah, they're panicking now because if Henry dies, which of course we know that he won't, but then his son Edward will become king, and he's way too young. And that's what actually happens when Henry eventually dies. I think he was like 14, his son. Seymour, we just saw, he's going to rule basically for Edward. So he's going to be basically the ruler of England at that point.
So he and they may keep watch over the Princess Mary with their lives.
So yeah, now you see Seymour on this show, and he's going to be eventually one of the rulers of England. He does it for King Edward, of course, but yeah, it was a very powerful position that he held. Yeah, he's sweating like crazy, man. He's got a big infection.
I bid you call for the surgeon Vargas. I will answer for it. Yes, Your Grace.
Yeah, I think it's probably the wise thing to do. You have to do something, right? If the infection spreads, he could lose his leg. Or maybe even die from it. Well, this is not going to be pretty. I don't know if they're going to show it, but a lot of nasty stuff will come out probably. Oh. He's better already. Little time jump once again. Oh man, look at that cute boy. Future King Edward.
What did he say about Madame de Longueville?
She has already got married to the King of Scotland.
She'll regret it when she sees what the weather's like up there.
For sure. Lots of rain.
I need to see them. I need to see the woman who's going to be my companion for life.
Yeah. That's what I would want. Of course, she has to be a nice woman and everything, caring.
But perhaps as head of the Church of England, the Emperor will allow me to make a dispensation.
Yes, Majesty. Naturally.
Cromwell really doesn't like that marriage. For him, it's too big of a connection probably to the Holy Roman Emperor and to the Catholic religion as well. That's why he's pushing for Anne of Cleves, because he's Protestant.
Did anyone ever discover who shot Robert Packington, MP?
She insinuating that Seymour had anything to do with it?
I'm here to help you to a better place.
You know I'm not guilty, you bastard. Only my brother is guilty, but you can't touch him, can you? So you have to kill the innocent.
Your guilt has been established beyond question.
Yeah, those letters didn't help, dude.
But that's all gone now. You don't even have to have a trial. So since there is no judiciary, what's left is only tyranny.
Well, he's not wrong when he says that, you know. Normally you would have a trial and a judge. But yeah, most of the times that judge can be bought as well. If Henry says to the judge, do this, do that, you know, I think he would probably do it. So. Gonna execute him now already?
Could the artist be not using some license to either flatter the lady or please me? Even Mr. Holbein.
Yeah, you didn't have like photographs back in those days, of course. The only other option would be this to bring them to court.
If your Majesty might still choose to consider the simple but profound charms of Anne of Cleves or of her sister.
Here he goes again.
But it has come to my attention that certain evangelicals are still preaching against the 6 Articles of Faith and your Majesty's religious agreement.
Henry doesn't want to hear that.
Saying rather that it is merely a symbolic commemoration of the Passion of Christ.
Yeah, but Henry did think so as well, right? At some point, but he's kind of steering back towards the Catholic faith.
But I'm told that Mr. Lambert is well known to my Lord Cromwell. It appears that they were educated together at Cambridge.
They're already trying to get rid of Cromwell. Everybody is.
My Lord Cromwell had the charges dismissed.
Yeah, maybe there wasn't enough evidence. That could also be the case, right? But yeah, Cromwell did really hate those new rules that Henry set down. Because for him it was going back to the Catholic faith too much. So yeah, it sounds about right.
I hear Lady Salisbury's been kept in the tower, and her son executed.
It is sadly so.
Right, so they did execute him.
Grandson, too, is being kept a prisoner.
I'm sure it is all Cromwell's doing.
Oh, you're wrong there. That's all your father, man.
And if I could, I would strip him from the king's side and burn him.
People have a tendency to blame everything on Cromwell. Whatever happens, doesn't really matter. It's Cromwell's fault, you know. And that's what happens when you really hate a guy, you know. But Henry, he has a mind of his own, so he makes decisions on his own.
It is not the French custom to send ladies of that rank, of such noble and princely families, to be passed in review as if they were prize horses.
Yeah, sounds a bit awkward, right? You have to have them line up all side by side, and then he picks the one he favors the most. A bit weird.
Maybe your Majesty would like to mount them one after another, and then pick the one you find best broken in.
Man, got a big mouth.
Monsieur Castillo, you have 10 seconds to get out of my court, or I will beat you like the dog that you are.
He was overstepping his boundaries, for sure. And Henry doesn't like the French very much, so I think he was 1-0 behind before it even started.
I believe you know this man.
I knew him many years ago at Cambridge.
Not since?
Not to my knowledge, Your Majesty.
Trying to trap him.
As the world stands, Your Majesty, I believe what you believe.
So you think it right?
That's what I would say, yeah.
Yes. Unless he recants. Yes.
Played well, Cromwell. Played really well.
Million. Send someone to take a look at them. We'll have a second opinion.
Majesty.
Okay. He turns around on his opinion. Well, at least he's considering them now.
Duke William will receive you now.
Well, Here we go, Anne of Cleves. Played by the singer Joss Stone. I had no idea that she was in this. I didn't even know she was an actress, to be fair.
Gentlemen?
Your Highness.
I don't think I remember seeing her in anything. So, did she do stuff after this? Or maybe there was a one-time thing? I don't know.
And the recruitment of 100 seasoned cannoneers for his army.
There is then, gentlemen, much to discuss.
Indeed.
Yep, there is.
Unfortunately, my court painter, Mr. Cranach, is ill.
They have Holbein for that, no worry.
In that case, we can send over Mr. Holbein, who is an admirable artist. Indeed.
Yes.
Damn, Holbein traveling all over Europe, making paintings and sketches of all these women. Busy time for him.
Your Highness, we
will meet again. Good day, gentlemen.
Well, it did not go well. This is dangerous, Cromwell.
You don't have to believe it, you just have to say it.
Oh, Thomas. I see now what it takes for a man to make his way in this world.
If you're a very religious man, you're never gonna talk against your own religious beliefs, probably.
I say to you again, while you still have a free choice, will you live or die?
You're not much use when you're dead, right? You can't do the work you want to do when you're dead. If you stay alive, you can continue the Reformation like you want to.
I would rather I purge it my own soul. Alas, it's the only thing in this world I have left.
It's basically the same thing as Thomas More, right? These people, they want to die for their convictions. And yeah, I think we have to applaud that, right? I don't know if I would have the strength to do that. Especially when you're burnt. A horrible way to go. Man, that's so painful. Well, as soon as all your nerve endings are gone, you won't feel a thing anymore. You probably pass out before that because of the pain. And that fire will suck up all the oxygen that's around you. So maybe you suffocate even. But it's not a nice way to go. It wouldn't be my preferred choice.
Princess Mary begs you to spare the life of Lady Salisbury, who she says was like a mother to her.
She was also a mother to Reginald Pole, whom even heaven can't forgive.
That's true.
Send Holbein. I must see her image.
Majesty.
Mr. Cromwell.
I understand Henry, right? You know, he was married to Jane Seymour, a woman that he found really attractive, really beautiful as well. So he just wants to make sure that his next wife is of equal beauty. But yeah, the bar has been set high because of Jane Seymour, and he doesn't want to settle for anything less than that. So, you know, I get it. Because nowadays, in times we live in now, it's most of us don't even have the faintest idea what it's like to marry somebody you haven't met before. You know, that's not something that we do nowadays. Maybe in some cultures they still do that, but you know, in Western civilization we don't. So yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's a way different time back then.
We cannot even tell which is Anne and which Amelia.
Sirs, I am Anne, and I am Amelia, your honours.
Your Highness.
Yeah, but they can't see them.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die. But please don't hurt me. Please, no, don't hurt me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. No.
You can't run in that little cell.
Oh, God, save me. Oh, God, help me.
For God's sake, have some dignity.
No, I don't want to die.
I think that would be me when I would be leading to the scaffold to have my head chopped off. I would fight with every breath that I have in me. No way I would just let them take me to that place and cut my head off without a fight. Well, you already already had the news.
My brother, my poor man. The King of England is the most cruel.
What about your nephew? I think he's still alive, right?
The Emperor and the French have made peace. They are now both willing to point their swords at England. They will withdraw their ambassadors and prepare a fleet for invasion.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No, please. Let me help in other ways. What? Tell me, are you frightened?
Well, I think he's done. I don't think he has any fight left in him. Not at this point. I wonder what they're going to do to him.
Come along now, Master Pole.
They're going to release him. He's still a threat, right? Especially now with his grandmother and his father killed. He will grow up with a lot of hatred in his heart and maybe will seek out revenge later. Yeah, it doesn't look good. The way that they shot this, I think he's done for. It's pretty brutal, right? Executing a kid. I don't think they will do that publicly like the other ones, but still.
Eat your heart.
Henry's on the warpath. Really hates that family. I can't blame him. You know, his family was involved in a war with those guys. So episode number 6, season 3 of the Tudors. That was it. Yeah, right off the bat, I think it was a much better episode than the previous one, which isn't a surprise to me, of course, because I really hated that episode. And you know, if it was worse than that one, you know, that would really be a bad thing. So yeah, much better. You know, it's not one of the best episodes of the show or anything, but it's a decent episode. Lots of stuff happening. You know, the wheels are being turned. Look into the future. Stuff being resolved. New people being introduced. So yeah, much to say about, of course, the search for a new wife, which the episode was called The Search for a New Queen. So a lot of the episode was about that. We saw the Cleves sisters. Well, we saw them, but we didn't see them. They have like a veil on, so we still don't know what they look like. Well, we know what Anne looks like because she's in the opening montage. But yeah, you can see, you know, that Henry is actively looking for a new queen, and he wants to make sure that the wife that he's going to marry is, you know, up to his standards. He wants a beautiful wife. Of course, Jane Seymour was very pretty to him. He was really in love with her. Like I said, the bar has been raised because of her, and he doesn't want to take anything less. And you know, I can understand that. Like I also said, you have to look at it from their perspective. Back in those days, it was pretty normal to get married to somebody you never met before, or you know, you married out of political alliance, or to make your family better, or stuff like that. You know, in those circles, you rarely married out of love, which is something, like I also said, we cannot imagine. You know, there are some cultures around the world where this still happens, but you know, here in my country, under Western civilizations, it's not the norm. You know, you marry somebody that you love, and you know, I think that should be the case no matter what. But yeah, back in those days it was pretty different. Of course, there were a lot of reasons to get married. Like I said, to make an alliance with another family or another royal house. So, but yeah, he also wants to make sure that his bride is pretty, and yeah, you know, we can blame him for that. Also, yeah, he doesn't really like the French. He had a falling out with the French ambassador, who had a big mouth. I have to say that. But yeah, there's also always been tension in this show between the French and Henry. He doesn't really like them. You know, he's been at odds with them a couple of times throughout the seasons, and sometimes he makes new peace with them. But yeah, in the end, I don't think he really likes them, so he's not really looking forward to getting married to one of the French girls. He wanted to marry the Duchess of Milan, but she wasn't very eager, which I can also understand. You know, he got rid of his first wife because he grew bored of her. He beheaded his second wife. His third wife died, she said, because the lack of care. I don't think that's the case, but yeah, in her mind, you know, why she's thinking, why would I marry him? You know, because if he gets tired of me, what's he gonna do to me? And you know, that's a position that's also pretty understandable. So yeah, she of course says, I will do it if the emperor commands me, because that's the positions that women were in back in those days. If your monarch says, yeah, you're going to do that, you didn't have a choice, or even your father. Yeah, but she doesn't seem very eager. She's of course not going to be the one. It's going to be Anne of Cleves. Those negotiations are not going very well. You know, Henry is trying to get a picture of her to see how she looks. And I think it was the brother of the two sisters. He wasn't really cooperating with that. And yeah, I don't know why. He doesn't really want to cooperate with that. Maybe he's like thinking, you know, if I send over a portrait or anything and the king doesn't like it, he will not marry one of my sisters. And maybe I should just let them get married on the spot without them being shown to the king. So, you know, I think maybe he's trying to increase his chances. I don't know, but yeah, negotiations are troublesome, to say the least. So, but yeah, at some point, Holbein is gonna go over. He's gonna make a painting. We know that actually happened, and yeah, she's gonna marry Henry. The other stuff that this episode was about, you could see, you know, that Cromwell was being forced into a position. I think his pedestal was crumbling already a little bit. You know, of course, Brandon is out for blood for him. If he can take Cromwell down, he's not gonna hesitate to do it. And we can also see that some other people are trying to get rid of Cromwell as well. The Pole family, they've been executed. The little boy, his father, and his grandmother, the mother of the cardinal, they've been executed. That actually happened as well. Well, I've read about his mother and his brother. I don't know his nephew. You know, that could well be the case. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty tragic, you know. But yeah, his brother said, you know, I am my allegiance to the king and everything. And then Seymour came up with those letters. You know, probably not a smart thing to do. Maybe he thought, you know, those letters will never be in the king's possession, so they never know what I wrote to my brother. But sorry for him, they did. And he says, yeah, I'm innocent, but those letters seem to dictate otherwise. So I think the evidence to his mother was maybe a little bit circumstantial. She had like a banner of the Pilgrimage of Faith, which was the rebellion that we saw in previous episodes. She had a banner of that in her locker. That's not very smart. Why do you have that in your locker? You know, that's going to raise some questions, of course. And if they are looking to kill you, to get rid of you, you just gave them something. Maybe she was just keeping it there. Maybe she never had an idea that she was in danger or anything, which is a little bit naive because they are actively hunting your son. So, yeah, if you think it through, if they gonna go after his mother, it's gonna, yeah, it seems pretty predictable to me. So, but yeah, we don't know, of course, how it went back in those days. This is what we see on the show, so maybe it went a little bit different in real history. It's something I've read about because it's mentioned in books, of course, about Henry VIII, because these were people that had a lineage to the Plantagenets. If you ever have a chance to read up about all that stuff, you have to read it. You know, the War of the Roses, that's one of very interesting periods in English history and in the English monarchy. So if you ever have a chance to read up on that, I would highly suggest so. Plantagenets against the Tudors, that's very interesting stuff to read. So yeah, and these people have an alliance to that, and they have a claim to the throne. Of course, they lost that war, so they lost the throne. So, but they still, their lineage goes back a very long time in the monarchy. So, yeah, like I said during the reaction, a little bit surprised that they even were kept alive, because you know we all knew that stuff like this was probably going to happen. Henry even said it so himself. You know, if he wants to raise an army, he's going to have like 40,000 people at his to helping him. So it was always pretty dangerous and big risk to keep them alive. I don't know why they did it. I don't know why they killed him. Didn't kill them, but yeah, they met their end now, and yeah, well, Paul's still at large. He's in Rome or wherever he is, and you know, little spoiler, he's gonna survive. I know that for a fact. Don't think they're gonna change that in this show. He's gonna survive, and when Henry dies, and when Mary is finally queen, she's gonna steer England back to the Catholic faith, and then he returns to England. So, but under Elizabeth, you know, he basically meets that's the end of Paul. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna, at some point we're not gonna see him anymore, and doing maybe at the end of the season, maybe season 4 he's not in it as well. I don't know, but yeah. So overall, pretty good episode. Some new stuff happening, and some stuff has been set in motion, and yeah, very eager to see how they're gonna wrap up the season. We've got 2 episodes left in this season. People wondering, I'm just gonna do season 4 immediately behind this season. Between season 1 and season 2, and between season 3 and season 2 and season 3, I took a little break, did something else. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue with the entire 4th season right after this one, so you don't have to wait for those episodes. You know, there was a big break between season 2 and season 3. And for all the fans of my reactions, I don't want to put you through that again. So when season 3 is over, I'm going to go straight into season 4. So just going to wrap up the show. And after that, we have to find something else to do a reaction to. If you have any recommendations, I'm always up for that. You can leave it in the comments. Some recommendations of reactions that I get to do. Also, a lot of people do recommendations for like other Tudor stuff, like other TV shows or movies about this same stuff. That's okay, but you can also recommend other stuff, of course, because it doesn't have to be like a Tudor channel. There's other historical stuff we can do, maybe other historical TV shows about other monarchs. I don't know. Just drop your recommendations in the comments, and I will check them out, of course. And if I haven't seen it, because these reactions, I always like to do stuff that I haven't seen before, because I think like that you get the most genuine reaction out of me. If I've seen it already, you know, my reaction is going to be different, and then it's going to be more like, maybe more like a history lesson where I can point out stuff. That's also, of course, a nice thing to do. Maybe talk about the real history compared to what we see on the screen. But yeah, I think you get the most genuine reaction when you haven't seen stuff. So that's my preference. So yeah, give me your recommendations and I will look into that, of course. And so for now, I'm going to wrap it up. Hope you join me again on the next episode. If you haven't seen my previous reactions to the episodes, if you just happen to stumble upon this episode, playlist is in the description, and you can check all the Tudor reactions there. And if you would like to do all the other YouTube stuff down here, like, subscribe, comment, that would be highly appreciated, of course. Really helps out the channel. The bigger the channel gets, the more stuff I can do. And but if you just here to watch it, that's also, of course, very much appreciated. So for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.